Hi, welcome to Module 4. Let's talk about the old reach. The further we can make our content go, obviously, the more worthwhile it will be. So, how do we help the people in our network so that they in turn help us? Well, we do all the things we've been talking about. We serve them up resourceful, insightful, educational stuff that they can't wait to share themselves or get more of, and thus come back for more. So there's a number of ways we can do this, of course, in addition to what we've already talked about. And one of those is using influencers. And I want us to try and think here not about influencers like we've maybe thought about them until now, and particularly on some of the maybe fluffier lifestyle-based platforms like Instagram. What we're going to think about influencers as those that are really related to our company or industry that are not the fashionista or the so and so celebrity that's hawking a bunch of products. We're thinking about them in particular as the people that can help us build our reputation and our just kind of referral base, because they are legitimately using our programs, our platforms, our products, like the fishing guides or the farmers or the chefs or the physiotherapists in our clinic. These are all influencers in our network that can legitimately add credibility to what we're selling or doing. And there's been many brands that have done this and built their entire brands around it. Look no further than Yeti, the camping-esque brand that took the expensive, dare I say, overpriced coolers that they knew were, stronger, harder, faster, whatever, kept ice colder longer than any other cooler on the market. And they seeded them with the influencers in their market who were, outdoors people who could legitimately say, yeah, this is the best Dan cooler I've ever used in my life. So, what are those people in your fold, or who are they, and what can they do to help, again, share your content and grow your reach? It can be twofold as well, because you're going to scratch their back too, and, hopefully drive some really beautiful conversations and relationships and partnerships where you can. We're going to optimize our content so that it is built. It is literally like got baked in amplification opportunities. It's going to hit the news feed and it's going to just like fly up, and the algorithm's going to fall in love with it because our people have. It's bite size, it's digestible, it's compelling. It's not some epic block of text with no imagery, no link. It's just like a wall of text, like the way I feel when I open a broadsheet newspaper today and I'm like, is this a April Fool's joke? Like, why is there so much text on the page? We're just not used to it anymore. Our little pea brains have changed so fast in the last decade or 5 years to just be like image junkies. Like, show me, don't tell me, and make it autoplay for me so I have to do even less work. And if I have to read the caption or the headline, fine, but I'm not going to read a deep article unless you draw me in and I want more and I want more. You've hooked me, just like a really great press release or a news article starts. It's written in a pyramid. If you've been to journalism school, they start with the meat. Don't bury the lead. Get it, off the top and keep us wanting more. Same way that shows show right away now. Remember when you were a kid and you'd have to like watch 7 minutes of commercials when that sitcom ended? Well, now it goes right into the next one. Of course it does. Capture them. And we can do that with some of these bite-sized, bullety, again, really digestible types of content. And in our content classes, we talk about the pillar or the pyramid being like this. Your content pillars are at the top. These are the unique to you kind of buckets of content that you can divide up and cover your bases with. So again, the most basic, generic example is educate, entertain, inspire. But for some people, it's community and culture, people and personality, and then, for us, social and digital marketing. And then below the pillars, you've got your content categories, and that's what we're looking at right now. So these are more universal. How can you make that educational post a how-to, or that entertaining post something behind the scenes? And then if you want to take it one step further, we talk about content types. Is it a video? Is it a live? Is it a podcast or an audio? Is it a still image or a carousel of images? A link post, etc. You get the idea. So really kind of fun ways to just start to divide up our content and tick a few boxes. Before you know it, you've got your content written for you. If you can create three of those, and three of those, and Bob's your uncle. Variety is the spice of life. very importantly, we want to serve our followers first. If anybody has decided they're going to follow your page or subscribe to your e-newsletter or fan your whatever, you better show up for them and for me. And I better do the same because we all know what it feels like when your cell phone company puts on a giant promotion for someone who's not yet a customer and you feel like you've been kind of hooped. So, and beyond that, it costs a heck of a lot more time and energy to find a new lead than it does to just have recurring revenue or repeat purchases or straight up, return engagement from your existing customer base. Yes, new leads in the top of the funnel are absolutely important and necessary, but so too is nurturing those who've been there before to keep coming back for more. Grow the belonging, grow the affinity and the referral, all of that. So engage them, treat them like a friend, speak to them like you're speaking to one person, and one to one instead of one to many. Speak boutique, not big box, and know what they need and learn from them. And then target your content accordingly and really make it something that is powerful and important for those people that have already decided to grow with you. And if you haven't heard of the theory, 100 true fans or 1,000 true fans, I shouldn't quote it if I don't know it. It's been a while since I read it. But either way, the theory states, I wish I could say who came up with it too, that 1,000 true fans. When you have 1,000 true fans and they tell two people and they tell two people, you're like off to the races. And in some cases, some of us can think of it as like 10 true fans and grow from there. But that exponential growth from people that love you is what matters more than strangers who may or may not buy from you. All right, insights, metrics, and data. Know your numbers. Know what's working. Further to what we just talked about. Create more of what people love. But at the same time, you don't want to see that a live, while it's flying off the charts and you just reach 10,000 people organically through posting your replay of your live Q&A with so-and-so, did so well that you're never going to do an image-based post again or an article link. Okay, but then what we're doing is we're opening up Time magazine and every page is a long form feature article and we're out because it's weird. It feels like a medical research paper or journal or something. We want variety. Again, you want to make that feed and your posts feel different. So don't take something that's working as permission to just do that. Take it as permission to iterate again and to get creative and continuously go back and try new things. That's not to say you're always reinventing. It just means that you're continuously moving forward. And one of my favorite kind of theories in this realm is to be open. And oftentimes people will say, I can't showcase everything I'm doing. I'm an artist. I can't possibly pull back the curtains and let people into my process or they'll steal it from me. Or, we don't want to talk about our products because it's, we haven't launched it yet, or we don't want to show people what's in the works until it's live. Well, if you bring us along for the journey, we can't wait to see it live, for one. And two, if you're fearful and hunkering down, that's the first moment you fall off the top. A swim coach said that to me once about the Australian swim team who wouldn't let me jump in their pool. And I'd traveled all the way there for 6 months. So if we can be open and encouraging and have that spirit of abundance to let people in because we know we're going to continuously evolve and grow and learn and just create great stuff, amazing. Now we've got the momentum on our side and metrics that are guiding us there. Use images and video always. This is goes without saying because again, attention spans and goldfish brains, but also it's just much more rich. And if you're scrolling your feed, take notice of what you stop and see based on its look and feel. I am willing to bet that anything that auto plays, like a video, an animation, a GIF, is going to catch your eye, of course, more than a still image. And more than a still image or more than a link or just a text post will be that still image. So how can you find more of those? And we've got lots of content creation classes that can give you cues as to how free stock photography can work wonders if you do it right, and Canva to make great, beautiful graphics and eye-catching stuff that anyone can do, no excuses, and it's fast, and you can create a batch process. Next, follow the second 80-20 rule. In this one, we are stating that 80% of your content should be relevant and industry-related info, and just 20% is promotional. And if it's really good, your promotional content still won't feel promotional or sales related. It'll have it buried in there. It's this like way that you're serving, but you're also pointing people towards that new thing that you're offering. but really it feels like it's adding value. It is not an ad. It is not push, 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 sale, sale, sale. The reason that, in fact, a lot of those types of content are even blocked from platforms like Facebook and Instagram will say your ad is not going to perform because it has the word sale written on it in giant letters, or free or discount, whatever. It just feels janky. It shows up in your newsfeed and it's like a gigantic ad, like the brick ads from my childhood. The brick, blah, 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 24-hour sale. And it's just like noise that we can't handle anymore. There's too much of the noise to begin with. So turning away. So how can you make your promotional content feel really organic? That's the challenge. Create a related group. We talked about this. If you can't find one to attach yourself to or insert yourself into naturally, not as the sales guy that comes out of nowhere and tries to sell a, I don't know, monorail, create your own group. Find some people or bring together experts and host that. Like, amazing. Look at Oprah. I just spotted her latest Obama interview and I can't wait to watch it. And she is nothing but a facilitator. I mean, she's brilliant for a lot of reasons, as we know, but she's a facilitator of conversations and of experts and interesting humans that raised her to who she is. So you can be that too. You don't have to always be the content creator or the expert. You can be the host in a really wonderful way. And of course, build affinity and trust as a result, and then probably sales. Create a killer bio. This is real estate that you want to take advantage of. And if we can do it in a way that makes it about our user and their needs, because we know them and we get them and we know what they need to hear, and not about us, amazing. And it's an interesting dichotomy here, because I always say in our website classes, when it comes to our about page, the generally second most viewed page on any website, because we're humans and we want to know who we're buying from. I want to know who's behind this company before I give them my money or my time or my follow. And we're curious. And if that page on a website is all about them and where they went to school, then I'm like, I'm out. If it's about my needs and it speaks my language and it captures me and I'm like, yes, tell me more, I'm in, where do I click? And it's clear and I get to my goals fast, awesome. But when this is the point of the website class where I always say, don't tell me where you went to school or what awards you've won. Your LinkedIn page can do that. And I will go find your LinkedIn page if I need to know that. So in this case, it's a bit of a pickle. But we have our LinkedIn profile that absolutely does that. Our business page bio does not. It speaks their language, it solves their problems, and it is not wasted on us. Everything we're doing, and you know this, the best salespeople out there listen and they make their pitch about you, not about them, or it just feels like telemarketing. Next, publish wisely, timing and otherwise. So publish and post when your people are online, not when you are. And if you know, because of your insights and analytics and stats that you can find, and just straight up analytic or anecdotal feedback, you see what posts do well at what time, you're going to post then, even if you have to schedule it on a third-party tool. Because you're busy in the morning and you're doing the daycare drop off does not give you permission to not post when your people are showing up and they want to hear from you, or when the highway is empty and ready to go and there's less people posting, and thus is your opportunity. You've got to find out when those times are. You've got to kind of A/B test or just straight up learn, and then find a way to show up at that time. Know the news to make news. We call this news hijacking, and it's a very popular tactic in public relations. If you can step into a story as the expert who can weigh in on it, great. If you can unearth a story that was hot 6 weeks ago and hasn't been heard from, and people are like, oh yeah, that, and you can give a second opinion or some kind of useful whatever, chances are your post will be relevant. But beyond that, we've got to also just have an understanding of what's happening in our industry in order to step into the conversation properly. And we can do that with that trending content that we saw in our public or our personal profiles and our business pages. So a great way to find popular trending topics, but also find inspiration to create our own. So some articles that you might be cued to create, or some follow-up pieces, or downloadable resources, or maybe it's a product as a result of something that you've seen. I love the fact that, Google is now a resource for the World Health Organization to find outbreaks of disease or famine or whatever in advance of what they know to be true or what cities and municipalities know to be happening because of Google searches. When people are Googling the same kind of affliction or condition or whatever, these are trends that start to shape in a certain area. Likewise, you have hashtag searches set up in your Hootsuite hashtag tracker, where you're staying in touch with what's being said about your industry, certainly about your company. And then you're able to step into that conversation and we call that social listening. But if nothing else, what a fantastic way to take some of the keywords that you're seeing in those trending topics and really build your content around it quickly and nimbly, and to be the one who shows up sort of first with it. All right, hooray, it's time to do a little bit of workbook stuff. You can save this till the end of the course if you want, or you can take a little break from my voice and dive in. So what we've got here for you are a few ways to, again, really build out our business page in all the most rich possible ways. So when we think about some of those opportunities on page, on the business page, we can, think about our bio statements, our about statements. We can also think about that content that we want to create. And then don't forget as well your personal profile. Are there ways you can improve that? Because as we said, you're not only building your, existing business, but you're going there to kind of learn on Facebook or on LinkedIn, but you're also building your business and your brand. And if I'm going to be an employee or a thought leader who's posting content or reposting my business content, yeah, I want my personal profile to look decent too. That's not just about job seeking or whatever. Become a resource, become an actual part of that 1% on LinkedIn, both personally and professionally. This is our bio formula that we love, and it is a fantastic way to introduce yourself straight up. And it's all based in that theory of, the transformation that you offer, who it is you serve in some form of the word help, and do what happens. So I or we is the starting word. Teach, show, create, make, build, help, transform, whatever. Women to do what? I don't know, make dinner with ease. We empower entrepreneurs to build their businesses through modern marketing tools. Maybe I'd tighten it up a little bit, but then you can even shorten it further to just straight up something empowering as a tagline. Empower yourself with modern marketing tools. So we can shape that bio however we want, but for the most part, this intro formula allows us to get out of our own selves and into their needs. So I encourage you to work on this, make it tight, make it bright, make a few different iterations of it, and have it show up. And you'll see when you're on LinkedIn and you're starting to look at what other people are doing and other business pages, just how great some of those statements are. And LinkedIn has space for this. Like, it shows up under your name. Here's what I do. We saw that in some of the profiles we're looking at. And there's your content brainstorm. So what kind of post could you create? And if you want some bonus points, which you're never going to see, but let's pretend, maybe incorporate some of those categories. So if you've got an educational post, think about a did you know, a how to, a testimonial, an interview, an unveiling, something like that, a quote, a stat. You got it. And I will see you in module number 5, the final home stretch. Promoted Content 101. We will look at the final advertising solutions, and I will see you there.